and welcome back. So today I'm going to be talking about my favourite 90s Christmas films, because the 90s was amazing for Christmas film, and this list is not even going to be close to show you how good Christmas movies were in the 90s. If you want to do something different and go watch some of the Christmas films from the 90s, just go for it, because it's so worth it and it's amazing, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to rewatch all of this. So this is the videos that we used to watch from when I was about 2 to 12, and it's what we used to be on TV during the 24th and the 25th. When you look back at Christmas during our childhood, this is the films that, got stuck in my mind. I was in Portugal, so maybe a lot of the films that were big here in England, like, they never made it to Portugal, just the really big ones, which I think these ones are like probably the most known, which basically eventually made it to Portugal. So first up is the Santa Claus. This film was out in 1994, which meant I was 6 years old and this film was out in 1994. And it's the first film that you see someone killing Santa. It's basically in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything. I'm not going to give any spoilers. So you can imagine at 6-year-old I was just like, what? The main story is that it's this divorced dad, which is portrayed by Tim Allen, that has his kid spending the Christmas Eve with him. He accidentally kills a man with a Santa suit, and then they transport it to the North Pole, where an elf basically tells them, you have to be Santa now before next Christmas arrives. Tim Allen's character think, it was just all a dream, and he wasn't. So throughout the next few months he starts gaining weight and getting like white hair and all that. It is quite, funny. And the thing with Christmas films in the 90s is not only they're not funny, but they are also very sentimental as well, which is quite nice. And they're very, they're just very happy and jolly. Just, they don't do Christmas films like as they used to. I'm just saying. So this is the first one of a trilogy. To me, it is the best one, but it's still worth watching. The other two, as they're quite funny and just kind of fills up your Christmas already. Next up is Jingle All The Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and this one is brilliant. This is the typical 90s funny Christmas film. Basically, Arnold Schwarzenegger forgot to buy the present for his kid, which is this like figure called a Turbo Man. So during Christmas Eve, he's running around Minneapolis while trying to find this Turbo Man so he can give it to his son. But then there's similar other father that is trying to do the same, and it's just really funny. It just makes you laugh a lot, and it has Arnold Schwarzenegger. Come on, he's not the most amazing actor. That says a lot about the 90s, but it's funny, and you're just gonna laugh a lot, and it's totally worth it. So trust me, just watch it. I don't even know what else to say. Just go for it, watch it. So when you think about the 90s, there's always one movie that comes to your mind, and that is, yes, Home Alone. Home Alone is just a classic. Even nowadays, I think that people still watch Home Alone with their kids. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a massive crush on Macaulay Culkin, which he didn't grow up to look that good, so let's forget about that. Home Alone was out in 1990, and Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, was out in 1992. I always remember that Home Alone and Home Alone 2 are always on TV at the same time. I mean, literally, you watch one, and the other one was coming straight after. Every Christmas for like, I can't even remember. Maybe even after the 90s, I was still watching. It's just amazing. I don't even know if I have to explain what the story is about, because I assume that everyone knows what the story is about. But in case you don't know what the story is about. So the story is about this 8-year-old Kevin. This family just forgot about him in the house. They just left for Christmas vacation and just forgot about him. If you're 8 and you're alone in your house, no one is there, what are you gonna do? You start decorating the house for Christmas and enjoying your Christmas alone, because there's nothing you can do about it. The story is about how this 8-year-old, he can outsmart these two burglars because they're not very smart at all. We like loads of booby traps in the house. I remember that because of that film. Me and my uncle is the same age as me, and I just remember that we used to try and booby trap everything in the house. In the end of the 90s, when we were just like 10, 12, we used to booby trap everything. My poor dad and grandma. And the second film is how Kevin loses track of his dad at the airport and ends up getting the plane to New York instead. So he ends up being alone in New York. Next one is the 1994 Miracle on 34th Street. Of course, being like 6, I haven't watched the original one. I watched the remake. This one is a remake, and has Mara Wilson, which we know her from Matilda. And the story is about this mum and daughter. They don't really believe a lot about Christmas. The mum is in charge to hire the Macy's Santas, where she works at. She comes across this guy who does a really convincing job at being Santa. He believes the Santa Claus, and then he may go to a psychiatric thing. It is a classic. Even more, if you watch the 1947 original one, that's even more classic. Either of them are really enjoyable. So they're both the same story, but like both into that time period, which is quite nice. Next would I say one of my favorite? It's the one apart from Home Alone. It's like the one that was really stuck in my head, and I couldn't believe when I talked with my boyfriend and he said he never had watched it. So of course, like, I had to make him watch it, and he's like, I can't believe I didn't watch this as a kid. It's amazing. And it's called Chap Rod. And Chap Rod is basically about a man that is basically like trying to be the breadwinner for the family, but he's never ever there. And then he ends up dying. I know, very sad straight away. But he ends up dying, and then while he was dying, he realizes his mistake. Like, you know, he's never been there for the family. So his soul is transported into this snowman. So then it's basically him trying to get that time back with his kids, especially as the snowman. And he's very funny. And he's one of those things that I think if someone come up with that film now, it didn't work. But somehow in the 90s, everything worked. So it's fantastic, and I love it. I won't say it's one of my favorites, but it's really, really close. I really like this one a lot, and I think everyone should watch it. And this one is from 1998. Okay, the next one basically is the last film of this trilogy that is like mostly Christmas, but I always remember watching all of three during Christmas because of it. First one was actually out in 1989, second one in 1990, and the third one was set during Christmas in 1993, and that is the Look Who's Talking trilogy. The Look Who's Talking trilogy has Christy Allen and John Travolta in it. Basically, the first one, it's about how she gets pregnant from a married man. When she has the baby there's a baby. And then she ends up meeting this taxi driver, which is John Travolta. She ends up having the baby, and then the baby Mikey. And the story is basically narrated by the baby, which is Bruce Willis. Second one, it's when... Okay, if I tell the second one, then I'm spoiling the first one. And if a third one, then I'm spoiling the second one. The second one, let's just say there's a second baby, and then it's called like Look Who's Talking Now too. And on the third one, the kids are a little bit more grown up. It's actually Look Who's Talking Now, set during Christmas. It's dogs who talk now. It's funny because I hate films where animals talk and things that are not supposed to talk, but when growing up I thought this was hilarious, but I just don't really like those kind of films anymore. This is really funny, and the third one is centered during Christmas, and I think that's because of that I end up watching all three of them during Christmas. It's very 90s romantic comedy kind of thing. Now, okay, I'm getting away with this one because the second one is in the 1990s, but probably shouldn't. So you may have realized the t-shirt I'm using. Yeah. And I'm getting away with this, and I don't care. So the first one, Gremlins, was out in 1984, and you can't spend a Christmas in the 90s without this film anyway, so it's amazing. There's a lot of people who think like Home Alone is their Christmas movie, and other people think like Die Hard is their Christmas movie, but to me, Gremlins is my Christmas movie. I love Gremlins so much, and I wanted to have one. The only reason I'm getting away with this is because the Gremlins 2, A New Batch, was out in the 1990s, and I want to mention it as well because apparently there's going to be a Gremlins 3. Apparently. Hopefully it's happening, and hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. Gremlins, for the ones who don't know, which I don't know why you've been hiding, you should know this. It's basically this father is trying to find something nice to give to his son, and he goes to Chinatown. The shopkeeper is a bit reluctant to give him the present, and then he gives to his son, but it comes with three conditions. You can't ever expose it to the water, you can't ever expose it to bright lights, and you can't feed it after midnight. And guess what happens? Well, the kid lets all it happen, and then basically this cute little thing transforms into something not so cute, and it's amazing, and you should watch it. And I know I'm getting away with this one on the 90s, but because the second one is in 1990, what happened is, you know, you kept watching it through the 90s, both of them, like back to back on TV. It was always on TV, always on TV, and you should totally watch it. Brilliant, so go for it. It's amazing. Go for it. That was like my favorite Christmas films, the ones that I remember growing up and watching on TV, having the VHSs, and the ones that I really love it, and it's like in my memory from childhood. This one, it's special honorable mention. The Muppets weren't very big in Portugal. Nick told me to tell you guys this is not only his favorite Christmas film, but his favorite film of all time, and it is The Muppet Christmas Carol. The only reason I'm mentioning is because this film is from 1992 and it's in the 90s bracket. Even though I just watched it way later and not while actually growing up, I think it deserves a nice honorable mention about it. And now it's like a really nice little tradition that me and Nick have, which is like during the Christmas time we always watch this film now, so that's that's why I'm mentioning. And basically, if you don't know, it is a Christmas Carol story, but with Muppets and Michael Caine as Scrooge. It is very cute, and it's a shame that I haven't watched it while growing up. Maybe I was too busy with Gremlins. But I did watch a lot of films anyway. So that's it. If you want to have a better idea about the films, I created a little playlist, which you can see the link underneath. Basically, if you click it, you can go and check all the trailers for all the films mentioned here, and you can decide if you want to watch them or not. Yeah, I think you should, because they're amazing. But let me know in the comments, what was your favorite films growing up? It doesn't mean in the 90s if you didn't grow up during that time. What really makes your Christmas perfect? If you have a favorite 90s film, let me know which one is it as well. If you watch any of the ones in the list for the first time, let me know what you thought. Don't forget, like, they like really old, like 20 years old, some of them. So, you know, give them like a little break. Don't be too nasty about it. Just enjoy it. I know there's some other films that I should have mentioned, but this is not like, you know, the best of all. This is just the ones that I remember from my childhood that I love watching it, and it's the ones that stuck with me until now. Comment if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, of course, and more important, don't forget to subscribe so you know when I post the next video. So if I don't see you until after Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, have a nice happy holidays. I hope you enjoy as well. Comment, thumbs up, subscribe. See you next Wednesday. Bye.